Ladies and gentlemen, live from Everett Stine Stadium in Byron, it's the IHSA 3A quarterfinals as the Tigers host the Knights of Elmhurst Immaculate Conception. Welcome into the broadcast. We are starting the stream 30 minutes early to welcome everyone in from near and far. So spread the word. What's up, big guy? My student broadcast production crew was starting to make their way up here to the press box. We've got Camden, we've got Avon, we've got Keegan, and we've got me on the mic this afternoon. So welcome into the broadcast. We still got some buttons to push and some pregame tech stuff to do. So I'm going to turn the mic off, but leave the video cam on to ensure that you know that you're in the right place. So welcome to our stream. It's about 1/2 hour to game time here at Everett Stine Stadium in Byron. Don't go away. Let your people know that we're live streaming, and we'll see you soon.
The officials for today's game are referee Jason Boyd, umpire Sean Strawhawk, line judge Don Cook, linesman Mark Burrell, bet judge Troy Stockton. At this time, we'd like to recognize some of the people behind the scenes that helped bring the Tiger home games to life. Across the field in the yellow and black, the men of the Tiger Chain Gang, Kurt Larson, Tim Salo, Tony Dingus, and Bob LaFleur. Running the scoreboard is Steve Harrington. Providing music is Kari Evans. The eyes in the sky are spotter Larry Rose, and I'm the announcer for today, and my name is Rick Edwards. A special thanks to the building and grounds crew, Brent Hall, Nick Sapoznik, Jim Getzelman, Terry Wilkin, Mike Scholes, and Sam Hammer for all their hard work in making the field and complex look so spectacular. I'd like to thank our trainer, Jamie Fuga, for her dedication to keeping the Tigers healthy. The music boosters once again will be operating the concession stand. They will have several items available for your consumption. Please visit the concession stand for a variety of food and beverages. We are now accepting credit and debit cards at the concession stand. The north section of the main bleachers is designated as a student section. Please reserve these seats for members of the student body. Attention Byron Middle School students, you have a student section reserved just for you. Please utilize the north end of the bleachers directly behind the high school student section during the game. We ask that you do not wander during the game, as you will be asked to sit in this section or with your parents. Thank you for your cooperation. Byron cheerleaders. Mason Burris. David Franklin. Kalia Gale. Marissa Dunk. Maya Dunk. Emma Franchi. Madison Fritz. Kendall Gamlin. Ariana Irvin. Madison Lemke. Layla Madden. Lila Moorhead. Brinley Mullen. Ashley Potter. Kalia Rydecki. Miley Schneidecker. Ella Tunick. Molly Wheeler. Lexi Bianca. Bristol Zumdahl. And the head coach, Rebecca Ballwinkle, and assistant coach, Cassie Risky. I'd like to introduce the defensive starting lineup for the Elmhurst Immaculate Conception. Number 1, Will Smith. Number 4, Jaden Penna. Number 7, Anthony Curiaso. Number 8, Cameron Garner. Number 9, Foley Chicago. Number 11, Grant Bowen. Number 19, Janelle Salas. Number 20, Casey Kenstack. Number 52, Jalen Banks. Number 54, Anthony Sebastian. Number 56, James Alexander. Number 57, Gabriel Lissowitz. Number 65, Peter Kazmarskis. Number 69, Vaughn Schmidt.
We're checking in. The audio is off until game time, or excuse me, until about 5 or 6 minutes from now. Grab a Pepsi. We just started the feed nice and early today to make sure everybody had a chance to find us.
J.J. Edmondson. Number 34, Landon Bondele. Number 53, Dalton Norris. Number 54, Braden Hamish. Number 57, Brody Stein. Number 61, Paige Pollock. Number 65, Dylan Nelson. And number 88, Jack Jenigan. The head coach of the Byron Tigers is Jeff Boyer. Assistant coaches, Sean Considine, Brad Miller, Chad Wilmark, Eric Yearley, and the team manager is Andy Gomez.
Pretty funny. They said that guy looks just like. Ladies and gentlemen, Byron Tigers Live is on the air this afternoon, a beautiful November Saturday afternoon in Byron, live from Everett Stine Stadium. It's the IHSA Class 3A State Quarterfinals, featuring your Byron Tigers, the undefeated Tigers, coming in at 11-0, unblemished season, the number 2 seed, controversially taking on a team wearing white this afternoon from Elmhurst. It's Immaculate Conception, the Knights, who come in with a overall record of 8-3. Welcome into the broadcast. We started the stream nice and early, a little bit earlier than we usually like to. Just to welcome everybody in, as we expect a big crowd, not only physically here in the stands, but online as well. So we encourage you to share the word. If you've got somebody over in Elmhurst, as Eric Yearley comes in. What's up, Coach? Had a baby. Let's go. Yep, windy. Well, we'll talk about that here in a minute with this passing game of ICC. But Yearley is going up to the Crow's Nest, and everybody's getting ready to go here in Byron this beautiful, but yes, slightly windy afternoon. As I was saying, spread the word that we are broadcasting live here on YouTube. So if you're not in the know, the IHSA has an agreement with the NFHS network. It's a live streaming platform that they've gone around and put these AI cameras into many of the schools around the country, really. And we used to have them here in Byron, but we don't anymore. And that works to our advantage because we can broadcast the game with our commentary, our score bug. That'll be run this afternoon, by the way, by Keegan. We got a student production crew. Avon is on the cams. We've got Camden, Tobiasen, who's going to be keeping some stats. There's a blast from the past. Hey, Coach. Kevin O'Neill, I love it. We've got a lot of people. There's Coach Wilmarth going up to the crow's nest to get another eye in the sky. Lots of people in attendance live, and glad to have you along wherever you might be watching from as well. All right, so we're pre-gaming, and let's take this opportunity, as this is unapologetically a Byron broadcast. We welcome our listeners, of course, from the suburbs, specifically Elmhurst. Yeah, we're unapologetically a Byron platform, but our mission statement involves broadcasting with integrity and treating the visitors with the dignity that we would hope people would treat our boys on the gridiron should we be playing elsewhere. So we welcome ICC here. Everybody's coming in today, baby. It's going to be good up there. Hey, a little windy, guys. A lot of people are going up into the crow's nest. So anyway, this is a Byron platform and a Byron broadcast, but we'll spend a little bit of time educating our Byron faithful so that they understand what we're up against here. Hey, and by the way, speaking of, I might as well mention that hey, Boyer, David Boyer. Everybody's coming in. Hey, I'll mention the chat. So that's a great feature of the YouTube live stream, right? I won't really be monitoring it, so I guess this is the teacher in me encouraging our viewers to behave themselves in the chat. Certainly a little bit of smack talk never hurt anybody if it's done in good faith and, with the correct etiquette. But just in case anybody is participating in the chat, I will not be monitoring it, so you're kind of on your honor system. But one of my favorite things is to check in maybe after each quarter in the half and kind of see where people are watching from. And this is what made me think of all this. Not that I thought you guys wouldn't be behaving yourselves in the chat, but hey, I know these guys. It's Brock, it's Liam, and it's Bryson checking in from Missouri. We know all of these guys who have suited up for the Tigers in recent years. In fact, just last year, if I remember correctly, Brock and Liam on the gridiron, and Bryson, who suited up for the Tigers on the pitch. Hey, we've got some Dixon fans checking in too. We love Dixon. They're in our conference. They've been really the best competition that we've had. And we were sorry to hear, Dixon, that you guys did indeed lose to Coal City. It was a fantastic game. Very much agree. Watching from the Geneseo bleachers. So, yeah, we've got people, Florida, for number 54, Byron. Hey, I know that guy. We'll get you the starting lineup here in a little bit. So anyway, I'll kind of monitor that on and off just to kind of do what we do, and we try to make this a community affair. And we're glad to have our alumni and our fans, moms and dads, aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, and just general fans of high school football. We're glad to have you in on the broadcast. Okay, ICC, the Knights of Elmhurst, Immaculate Conception. A lot of people, especially my students, didn't really know what an Immaculate Conception was. Well, it's a Catholic school, and the Immaculate Conception refers, of course, to the divine birth. Hey, we don't want to do we're not going to proselytize to anybody, but hey, somebody might say, well, what is an ICC Catholic? What is that? Well, it's Immaculate Conception, and they are good. They come in, you can see there on our score bug, the number 11 seed. But these guys are good. 8-3 overall. In Elmhurst, 4-2. And 2-1 away, and then 2-0 on a neutral site. Their 3 losses were to some great football programs in the state. Listen to this, and by the way, not by much. A loss to Nazareth by 3, 24-21. There was their first loss on the season. A loss to Marist by literally 1 point, 29-28. And then a loss to St. Rita, a powerhouse, 38-21. In the playoffs, ICC all over Chicago Hope 42-13. And a team that I follow, as I know some of the coaches, Bishop McNamara, Kankakee, 37-27, a 10-point victory there for the Knights over Bishop Mack. Hey, I'm going to let you guys listen in a little bit. Here's the old Byron fight song. By the way,
we would now ask that all the veterans please.
Yeah, we're going to welcome our many more of our listeners, including the coach. But I love living in the greatest country on the planet, the United States of America. And with Veterans Day coming up, I'm going to continue to turn my mic down and let us honor the United States and our veterans. Yeah, big round of applause for our vets in attendance and those of you listening and watching. Now let's honor the United States with our national anthem, and it'll be just about set for kickoff here in Byron.
High School Marching Band to honor America will now play the national anthem.
All right. So we've got alums, we've got former staff, we've got, supporters in general watching. It's going to be a great game. But we do have to welcome to the broadcast the man, the myth, the legend. We are playing this afternoon at Everett Stine Stadium, and Coach Stine is watching from Texas. Coach Stine, we love you. We wish you and your lovely wife well, and we're very glad to have you listening to the broadcast this afternoon. All right, it's the number 2 Tigers in this quarterfinal matchup, 11-0 against ICC Catholic, the Knights of Elmhurst at 8-3, the number 11 seed. We've got Toby to my left doing stats. We've got Avon out just beyond the window here with our press box cam. We've got Nick on the sideline cam. And we've got Keegan, who's going to be running the score bug. The Tigers, as you can see, will begin the game kicking off. It is windy, which may play a factor in this afternoon's affair, with ICC coming in with over 2,000 yards passing. That's a lot more than what we're used to here in this Big Northern. Byron in all black, the orange helmets and the black tiger paws, and Elmhurst Immaculate Conception in white. That's David Cunningham doing the honors, and we're just about set to go. And we're off. A very high end-over-end kick all the way back into the end zone for a touchback, and ICC will charge out onto the field. Hey, we'll get to know these guys as the broadcast goes along, but listen for the name Lang. The quarterback, Nate Lang, he's a junior, 2,291 yards on the season, averaging just under 3 touchdowns per game in the air are the Knights of Immaculate Conception. Watch for number 33, Bennett Hively, the middle linebacker. Hey, what's up, big guy? Coach Baker in the house as we're underway. Inside handoff. Hey, stopped at the line on a great play by the defense of the Tigers. Julian, the snowman, number 8 there, and 84, Zion Gatir in on the tackle. Watch for number 61, Cade Polich, down there as well. In coverage, bottom of your screen, it's Criddle, number 4, Landon Bonvalet, number 34, the sophomore, to try to shut down this passing attack out of the shotgun formation. Looking to pass over the middles, got a man. Oh my goodness, he had it in the breadbasket, and he flat out dropped it. Camden, I'm thinking that's a touchdown if he just makes a pretty routine catch over the middle. We'll take it, and ICC honestly should have had a touchdown there, but it was dropped right over the middle of the field. Trips left, twins to the right, empty backfield out of the shotgun formation. It's Lang, the quarterback. Dropping back, dancing around to the right side now, and out of bounds. A good hold there for the defense of the Tigers, and that should force a punt here for the Knights. He was trying to orchestrate something downfield by, almost like a joystick, trying to get his guys open, calling some signals with his body language, but could not and ran out of bounds. And it will set up a punt, on fourth down and long. Punter standing at his own 10-yard line should bode well for the fleet-footed returners of the Tigers. Left-footed punt is up, wobbly, and out of bounds at midfield. In fact, shy of midfield, and the Tigers looking good after a excellent defensive stand. All right, Dawson Criddle in the backfield, number 4, D. Crid. Listen for the quarterback, number 16, Andrew Talbert. Doesn't have nearly as many yards, but he can sling it. He will be taking his baseball talents to the University of North Carolina to play baseball, will number 16, Andrew Talbert. Caden Considine, number 37 in the backfield, along with number 27, J.J. Edmondson, and number 34, Landon Bonvalet. All right, double tight. We'll get to that. Offensive line here in a minute. It looks like number 5 is out there. That's Cole Aiken. Aiken falling forward to about the 45-yard line after a gain of 3. We didn't have a whole lot of trusty number 5 during the season as he was injured, and has been back now for a couple of games. And Aiken carves out, we're going to say 4, ahead to the 44-yard line, and then back to where go the Tigers. You can see some of that beefy offensive line for the Tigers as Talbert surveys the defense. He'll pitch it. Stiff arm, and Dawson Criddle not able to break free. So that's what we're going to see. Those of you who were Tiger fans, that's what we're going to see today. We're going to see a very quick defense. And maybe in other games where D. Crid or Kotze or anybody else for that matter might be able to break free, D. Crid was not. As the boys break the huddle. Everett Stine listening from Texas. This is the wing T, double tight. Talbert inside handoff, and nothing there. To the 40-yard line they go. Probably 4-down territory, but we'll see if the Tigers elect to pin the Knights deep. In any case, on 4th down and 2, they'll talk it over. Will Talbert there, you can see his helmet just at the bottom of your screen. All right, 4th and 2, we're going to go. And why not at the 40-yard line of the Knights. That's the Farrell, Dalton Norris, the center. He's got Hammis, Polich, Stein. He's got a tight end in Jennings. Here we go, 4th and 2. Talbert calling out signals, the inside handoff, kind of a first down in any case. It didn't look like the greatest of mesh points between Talbert and Concy, but Concy kept his feet moving and got the first down. All right, look at that offensive line from right to left there as Talbert comes in. Talk through it with the boys. There goes Norris and the rest of the offensive line lining up. All right, Twins to the right side. Bottom of your screen is JJ. In the slot, D. Crid. Inside handoff, bouncing but not able to escape is Considine. Yep, trying that near side of the field, right in front of his coaching staff as Talbert stands just to the right of head coach Jeff Boyer. Big number 88, Jack Jennings, the junior tight end, back into the game as well. Let's see who comes out. Will Julian, the snowman, number 8. All right, breaking the huddle are the Tigers. This their first series. Already a first down on 4th down. As the pitch goes back to Cole, Aiken loses his footing. I'll tell you that the pitch to Aiken was a little bit behind him, and he kind of got out of rhythm with the footsteps and able to fall forward to about the 34-yard line. So 3rd and long, as you can see, underway here at Everett Stine Stadium in Byron. Coach Stein, you got to love hearing that, right? As you and your wife watch from Texas. All right, that's Talbert. He'll talk things over. Only a ground game up to this point for Byron. Twin receivers, well, lining up to the left and then now to the right. Yeah, I think they're going to call a timeout, and Jeff Boyer wants to talk things over as the boys were a little bit out of sync out there. All right, so here's the story of the game so far, in case you were grabbing a Pepsi or maybe just not with us a little bit earlier. A passing play from Lang over the middle for the Knights. Had a man wide open at about midfield. It was right in his breadbasket, and he just couldn't make the grab. And it would have likely gone for a touchdown. And instead of ICC leading it 7-0, Byron was able to get the ball back after the drop on a punt, which sailed out of bounds just before midfield. Faced a 4th and 2, got the first down from the churning legs of Caden Considine, and now trying to keep the drive going on 3rd and long. First timeout, as you can see by our score bug. Great job to Keegan. The Tigers had to burn a timeout there to get the right personnel in the right place. All right, Talbert sizing things up. Keeps it on the option. He'll tuck it in into the secondary. Spinning around down to the 23 goes Talbert. And it's a first down, Byron. Great yards after contact there for Talbert, and my student crew to my right love it. Avon and Keegan out there enjoying the fine run on the quarterback keeper by Talbert. Hey, spread the word about our broadcast. We got, looks like about 850 people watching live right now. And if you know somebody that might benefit from watching some good high school football, this is what some people are calling the state championship game right here. Their words, not mine, but it's going to be a doozy. All right, on the delay, right between the tackles goes Talbert. Trying to get a little help there from Jennings. And not really a broken play, but not a whole lot there after a gain, we'll say, of 3 for the Tigers. JJ back in to replace Will Julian. JJ's got the play. They'll talk it over. Will the Tigers just outside of the red zone at, we'll call it the 21. Talbert and company back to work. Talbert, pitch ball's on the ground, and it's going to be picked up by the Knights of IC. A broken play. Talbert pitched it, and I'm not sure if it kind of stuck in his fingers there or the guys just didn't know to whom it was intended. Kind of in between Consi and Cole Aiken. And a busted play and a turnover to the Knights. And that'll bring the defense of the Tigers out onto the field, doggone it, as the Tiger drive was looking good. All right, and that's what this defense of IC Catholic can do when they get the ball back. So both teams turning the ball over, one on a punt, and now the Tigers on a fumble. And here come the Knights with their very strong quarterback avoiding pressure in the pocket. There he goes, falling forward past the 30 into the secondary. Well, the linebackers anyway. And Lang, the quarterback, was able to make a little something out of nothing there for the Knights. Another first down for Immaculate Conception. Twins to both sides for Lang, the junior quarterback. Over 2,000 yards passing on the season. Good snap, inside handoff. There's Consi, the linebacker, to greet him. Will Julian comes over. Bonvalet, and there must have been a whistle there as the ball carrier, number 20, Casey Keckstad, never did go down, but forward progress halted there. The initial stand-up by Consi, number 37, the middle linebacker, the captain of the Tiger defense. They'll call forward progress 1 yard there, a gain of 1 second and 9 for the Knights. The shotgun formation. There's the snap, looking right. In and out of the hands of the intended target, this time Jaden Pena. And I wouldn't think Elmhurst was nervy today, as they've played in some big games throughout the season. It's a little windy, but Cam, you agree, right? The second time the ball's right in the breadbasket of the intended receiver. And a play that should have been made. The Knights a little jittery here early on in the ball game. Lang searching, out of the pocket, scampering, ahead of the 40 as he reaches the ball forward to about the 41, maybe the 42. Let's see what he got with that little bit of extra attempt there as he tried to outstretch his arm, which it's going to make it fourth and just a few feet. A couple of feet, we'll say. Of course, fourth and a few feet would be 4th and 1. 4th and inside a yard, and it looks like they're going to go for it. Big play here for the defense of the Tigers. There's the inside handoff. They've got the first down and more. To midfield, still on his feet, into the secondary, diving forward to the 40-yard line. A gutsy play there for the Knights, and it pays off. J.J. Edmondson finally credited with the stop there, but not before a big first down and a gutsy play call by the Knights. Twins to either side, Lang the junior looking to the sideline. He's got the play and he's ready to go. Awaiting the snap out of the shotgun formation. Another inside handoff. There he goes, right between the tackles, dancing right to left. Casey Keckstad again to the tune of about 9 or 10 yards. Just shy of a first down, it looks like. As you can see, the chain gang to the right of your screen. No score, as you can see here in this first quarter, but it's the Knights now on the march. Another inside handoff, scampering, and cannot escape the grasp of number 8, the snowman, Will Julian. And a first down picked up for the white jerseyed Knights of Immaculate Conception. All right, Tiger defense, got to go to work here, boys. They spread the defense, do the visitors from Elmhurst, as they line it up with receivers to both sides, leaving the middle open were a lot more open than the amount of guys that can kind of clog the middle on a normal day for the Tigers. This time, though, Consi is all over the ball carrier, number 20, Casey Kekstad. That's Caden Considine, the junior, who made a great play, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball on that left hash for the Knights. There's Consi in your screen. All right, out of the shotgun, against the wind, by the way, as Lang gets his man in motion from left to right. Rolling out right side, the pass is up and beyond the reach of the intended receiver. I believe that was number 7, Anthony Caraccio, down there on that far side of the field. And with that ball into the wind, it was just kind of being blown away from the field of play and out beyond the outstretched arms of the intended receiver. A little momentum, by the way. I saw the physics teacher, Mike McHale. We use a little vector analysis as the quarterback is rolling right. His momentum is carrying him in that direction, and the momentum of the ball. We got a physics lesson in the broadcast today. All right, pass to the flat, blown up on the play. Dawson Criddle. That a baby D. Crid. And the fans in attendance love it. This team will kick field goals, by the way, but again, they are against the wind. In a fine play by D. Crid to the right of your screen. That a babe. Yeah, they're going to go for it, are the Knights. Not field goal territory for them. On 4th and 14. Lang, the quarterback, surveying the defense and awaiting the snap. Dropping back, pocket collapsing. Lang's dancing right side, passes up, has a man, and caught by a big tight end down there inside the 10. Grant Bowen, the big fella down there, made the grab. Some jittery play by the Knights early on as they've dropped already 2 passes, but not that time as Grant Bowen made the grab, did the big sophomore. And he will line up now to the left. On 1st down, here come the Knights. Handoff, right side. There's a big scrum. Julian got him. I think Bennett Hively, number 33, was there as well. J.J. Edmondson being credited. Bonvalet comes out. 2nd and goal from, just inside the 10. Actually, we'll call it the 8-yard line for the Knights. 2nd and goal from the 8. Lang looking things over. 1 receiver just beyond your screen to the left. Oh, there's a flag. Think that might be movement. Attaboy, Keegan. Keegan gets the flag on the score bug there. Attababy. Yep, false start against the Knights. And a 5-yard infringement. So that'll help the cause. Still 2nd and goal, but now back to about the 12-yard line go the Knights. Still working out of the shotgun formation for that gunslinger, the junior. Inside handoff, a big fella, big fullback got the ball there, and standing up at about the 10 is once again Bennett Hively held down on the stop. Sounds like a train is coming through. That's just to our left, just to the north of the school. Get a little crowd, Mike. We don't want to turn it up too high today as we've got a huge crowd in attendance. But the fans making some noise now on 3rd and goal. Shotgun. Out of the pocket. Oh, there's a flag. It should be a hold against the offense as Will Julian was in pursuit. Yep, it's a hold against the offense of the Knights. Great job, Will Julian, the snowman down there. Earned the call, and that'll move him back another 10. And I'm looking out, and it appears that time has expired, not only on our score bug, but also on the official game clock out there. Folks, we got a ball game. This is fun. This is not like some of the other games. In fact, any of the other games where I get a chance to tell a few more jokes and say hi to some of my friends downtown. We got a ball game. We got well over 1,000 people watching. Hey, that's you. Many of you are out of state. Some of you are watching from the suburbs. Hey, here's a Knights fan watching from Saudi Arabia, maybe deployed, maybe on a business trip, who knows, but hey, this is unapologetically a Byron broadcast, but we said in the beginning, we want to broadcast with integrity, and we welcome all of the supporters for all teams that we cover. So, hey, I don't know what time it is in Saudi Arabia, but we're glad to have you along. Hey, Jay Little was watching from Amsterdam. Hey, Jay, it's getting late. I was in Amsterdam once, and about this time of night, some of the streets that I had walked down earlier in the day with my kids were not the kind of streets I wanted to walk down later in the day, if you catch my drift. Things change a little bit this time of night in old Amsterdam. All right, they're going to line it up for the field goal, and that was actually to their advantage because they will have, the Knights, they'll have the wind at their back now. Field goal try coming up, and it's up, and I don't think it's good. I think it was wide left. It was. The field goal try was missed wide to the left, and the Tigers are going to get the ball. And the fans in attendance, at least those supporting the Tigers of Byron, will love it. Hey, a lot of K tags in the chat. Hey, Burpo, what's up, bud? Hey, I know these guys. I'm loving kind of watching in the chat. So we're glad to have you along and keep spreading the word. They're calling this the state championship game, and it's been a doozy so far. As you can see from the score bug, no score as the Tigers offense comes back out onto the field. Twins left, inside handoff, there goes Consi, dancing, scampering, avoids the first wave, spinning, and escorted out of bounds at about the 25. Right at that ribbon in honor of Veterans Day down there, Consi doing work. And across the 25 to the 26 on a gain of 6 for Consi and the Tigers. There's the boys in black lining it up with Talbert looking things over. Calling signals and awaiting the snap with the double tight end package. There's the pitch. D. Crid. Look at him with his eyes searching upfield for a gap, and he finds one to the 40. That's D. Crid. Dawson Criddle, the senior who moves the chains. You could see him from up here, couldn't you, Cam? His eyes were up. He was looking for the hole. He got some help, and he found it and picked up the first down to the 40-yard line. As the boys line it up against that white jersey defense of the Knights. Talbert looking things over. Inside handoff, great job by the line, and Consi carving out some space for himself, keeping the legs churning ahead to about the 44. A gain of 4, we'll say 2nd and 6 for Byron. In case you were away getting a Pepsi, it was a missed field goal on 4th down for the Knights. as we turn things around from right to left and now left to right. And of course, now the Tigers with the ball, they're going to the north against the wind as we're just underway in the second quarter. Live from Everett Stine Stadium here in Byron. Double tight, pitch. There goes Decrid again. They like that play. They like what they've seen so far in Decrid into the secondary. I was not only watching Decrid there scampering, but then I saw a defender for the Knights pointing at one of our Byron offensive linemen, trying to coax the official maybe into calling a hold. To no avail, though, across midfield to the 48-yard line into Knights territory now. All right, JJ, bottom of your screen. A lone would-be target down there should Talbert elect to pass. Talbert tucks it in. Spinning ahead to about the 43 goes the junior Talbert. There's the big pile. That's Dylan Nelson, by the way, the sophomore. Number 65, who came over to offer some assistance up off the turf. 44-yard line. There goes Talbert. You can see him jogging right down that 50-yard line. The big orange tiger paw out there at midfield. From the left hash. Double tight. Talbert looking things over. Inside handoff. It's Considine ahead with a full head of steam past the 40 down to about the 39, maybe more. You hear that? Somebody said horse collar in the stands here. Anyway, 3rd down and 1. Ball, right at the 39-yard line. Here comes Julian. He'll switch places with JJ. 3rd and 1 for Byron. Against the wind, maybe the wind even blowing a little bit from left to right. There's the pitch. Decrid, and he's ahead. I think he got the first. His counterpart, number 4, Jaden Pena, helped out with the stop, as did it number 1, Will Schmidt, but not before a first down for Byron. Our score bug is correct, by the way. No score. About 4 minutes into the second quarter here from Byron in this Class 3A quarterfinal matchup between two teams that up to this point have been very evenly matched. The Knights missed a field goal. They've dropped a couple of passes, and the Tigers turned the ball over on a fumble. All right, little trickery here, but the Knights not biting as the fleet-footed sophomore Landon Bonvalet got the ball, but nothing doing for Byron. That'll force them back into the huddle to talk things over. 2nd down and 15, ball back at the 40 now. Hey, wherever you're watching from, we've already had several international check-ins on our broadcast today. We're glad to have you along. You may be a fan of the Knights, you may be a fan of the Tigers, you might just love high school football, and this will be one of the best you'll see all season. Another kind of broken play on a mesh point issue there between Talbert and Considine. They did get the handoff off to Caden, number 37, but it was kind of a awkward-looking handoff. To the 37-yard line, it'll be 3rd and long. The Knights' defense has been equal to the task here this afternoon. All right, 3rd and long. Talbert, the quarterback, surveying things, as you can see him there. Center of your screen, there's a whistle and a timeout. That'll be Jeff Boyer's 2nd timeout of this opening half, and that'll allow the boys to talk things over. All right, we'll check in on the chat. A lot of alumni listening. lot of family encouraging. Keegan coming in, Avon coming in. Good game so far, huh, boys? Yeah, we're enjoying it. Hey, guys, we're at 1.2. You guys, this matters maybe more to the young people, but 1.2 thousand viewers right now on the broadcast. That's pretty cool. Somebody in the chat said, hey, let's see if we can get it up to 2,000. We've got an international broadcast too, boys. We've got guys from Amsterdam. Somebody was in Saudi Arabia. Here's a check-in from Africa. IC Catholic class of 67 watching from Niger, Africa. That's pretty cool. All right, 3rd and long. Tigers back to work. Rolling. Talbert, he's going to float one up into the wind. It's a wobbly-looking ball that will fall untouched. Intended for Landon Bonvalet, and they went to the air attack there, but kind of into the teeth of that wind. It was not close. And that'll bring up 4th down and long, and again, into the teeth of this wind. Blowing a little bit from left to right, but mostly from the north, right into the face of the Tigers. They are setting up for something I really don't remember seeing this entire season, and that's a punt. All right, that's how we line up. Talbert does the honors, a high punt. Talbert went down, and a flag is down. I think they're going to get a penalty against the Knights as Talbert punted it away. And that's going to be a big, big call against the receiving team, interfering with Talbert on the punt there. Let's see if Keegan can find that on the score bug. Well, he's got the flag up there, but that's big. That was a 4th down. The Tigers were punting it. Talbert did get the punt off, but he was collided with. And that's a huge call in this ball game. Atta baby. Hey, Keegan, atta boy, he roughing the kicker. You got it up on the score bug. I love it. All right, that's a huge call. And the drive continues for the Tigers in celebration. Their fans, our fans, loving it. All right, let's see if they can capitalize. Not quite into the red zone yet, but nose of the ball at the 22. Instead of punting the ball away, the drive will continue for the offense of the Tigers. Talbert looking things over. Keeps it himself. Oh, colliding with the defender there and going down just beyond the 20. Noses into the red zone, does Talbert, but a punishing tackle on the junior stops him in his tracks at about the 18-yard line. So into the red zone go the Tigers. The black jerseyed Tigers of Byron talking things over. We get a good look at the huddle. And here they go to the line of scrimmage. Dalton Norris, the center. Talbert behind, awaiting the snap. Calling signals, the junior. Bound for University of North Carolina. Lowers his helmet, diving ahead. And a gain of not a ton, but just enough to keep things moving for the offense of the Tigers. 3rd down and 2 now. Ball just inside the 15. Talbert comes back out. Julian replaced by JJ. And it'll be 3rd and short here for Byron. Neither team has scored. Let's see if the Tigers can draw first blood here in Byron. JJ to the left. And a big pile up there. Oh, no whistle. And finally, the play being whistled dead. Consi had it. Kind of a late whistle there. Polich, Hammis, Nelson up off the bottom of the pile there, the big boys for Byron. And they're not going to give it to him. Well, I think they're going to signal for the chain gang to come out.
For a measurement.
Yep, they're going to measure things. Hey, I had some stuff that I thought maybe in the dull moments of the game that I might be able to talk about that are non-game related. I just haven't had the chance. And that's a good thing because it's been a heck of a game up to this point. As they measure things here, the chain gang is out there. Maybe a little tush-push coming. Yep, it's going to be short. Annie Busser's kids love that play. I don't know if they love the play. They love it when we say tush-push anyhow. All right, 4th and inches, we'll say, for Byron. This is no gimme against this tenacious defense, though. And with the play clock running, JJ had to scamper off quickly, and the Tigers, they're going to go. Talking things over, here comes Byron on 4th and inches from the Knight 14-yard line. Offensive line has got to pay attention here, cannot afford any kind of a flag, as Talbert will call clear signals for Byron. Handoff, Consi, I think he had it. He's going to be knocked backwards, but with forward progress, it should be good enough for a first down for Byron, and it is. It's official. There it is. All right, we're going to stop things as both teams will have a chance to talk things over. So what I was going to talk about is, should there have been any dull moments in this game up to this point, which there have not. I did a little research to find out what other cool things have happened on November 15th in history. And I'll spare you the history lesson for the time being, some of the things that went on November 15th long ago. But I do have to tell my Gen Xers that 39 years ago today, one of the greatest albums of all time was released. And I'm gonna let this breathe a little bit. It was November 15th, 1986. It's a hip-hop album, okay? Maybe a little bit of a hip-hop, a little bit of rock. Anyway, we'll get back to that here in a second. Back to the important stuff. Double tight end set for Talbert, who'll look things over after the timeout. Calling signals, the junior quarterback. To the left goes Cole Aiken, leaps over the intended, or the, I should say, the would-be tackler. A hurdler out there, trusty number 5. And he made headway just shy of the goal line, did Cole Aiken, number 5. Great play by Cole, and we're glad to have him back in the Tiger lineup. Down to the 1-yard line for Byron, 2nd and goal. At the 3:47 mark here in the second quarter. Come on, offensive line. Let's do work here, and let's get the Tigers on the board. There it is! Considine high-stepping into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, Byron. After some missed opportunities by the Knights, including a missed field goal attempt, the Tigers able to put together a long drive and draw first blood, as they will attempt to put the extra point try through the uprights. David Cunningham, number 90, out there doing the honors. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 7-0, the Tigers with the lead after the 1-yard touchdown run by number 37, Caden Considine. Well played, Tigers, said somebody in the chat. Hey, RH, you know what I'm talking about, baby. Long drive for the Tigers there, and some mistakes by the Knights that have killed them. That roughing the kicker on 4th down when Talbert's punt was off, but Talbert was collided with and earned the flag, keeping the drive alive. And the next thing you know, the Tigers were into the end zone. There's a little view of the wind here in northern Illinois on this fall Saturday as the ball was blown off the tee. Hey, here comes Luke Wiley, the sophomore. That a baby. He's going to hold it for. This is Lars Dieck kicking off, by the way. The German foreign exchange student. He of the big leg. And this one will be whistled.
Flag on the field.
Flag down. Watching the officials here as they'll talk things over midfield. Yeah, no flag. They're just going to re-kick it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see anything. And, all right, out of the hold of Luke Wiley, once again, number 32 out of Cologne, Germany, it's Lars Dieck, and this time he boots it deep. Here go the Knights. To the 10, to the 15, a stiff arm, and somebody got him low. That a baby Bennett Hively. Hively, the leading tackler for the Tigers on the season, made a big one there to stop the return man dead in his tracks. And the Knights of IC Catholic, their offense charges back out onto the gridiron. Trailing it by 7, the host, the Tigers of Byron, the number 2 seed, leading at 7-0. Hey, that got the Tigers a little bit fired up knowing that they were a number 2 seed, right? As Lang, the quarterback, looking downfield, he's got the wind at his back. Pocket collapsing and throws it away with Zion Gatier doing work down there. That a babe? Big number 84, the redheaded senior end, the edge. Got to the quarterback, and the ball fell harmlessly as it sailed out of bounds on that far side of the field. That a baby Zion. 2nd and long for the Knights with Lang looking things over. Twins to his left, twins to his right. A little bit of a high snap out of that shotgun, and an inside rush for number 20, that's KC. Casey Keckstad with Bo Lundquist helping out on the stop, the sophomore. That a babe. 3rd down and 4 for the Knights of Elmhurst. Shotgun. Good snap. Inside handoff. Off left tackle now to the far side of the field, and should be enough for a 1st down. Bonvalet was down there. Maybe Dylan Dock down there on the coverage as well. That a babe. Couple of sophomores helping out there, but not before a 1st down. Once again for number 20, KC Keckstad for Immaculate Conception. All right, Polich is in as Bo Lundquist will come out. That'll put a little bit more beef on that 4-man front defensively for the Tigers. You want to just say it through the? Hey, we're the live stream, but we'll be happy to tell them through the. Just open the door and tell them. Yeah, you got it, Coach. 2:4. All right, they want to get 2:47 back up on the clock. The clock says 2:36. We don't control that, obviously. Keegan controls our score bug, but we opened up the door and let them know. All right, first down and 10. Lang, the quarterback. Good snap. Pretty much every time for Lang as there's a big scrum near the line of scrimmage. Several guys up off the bottom of the pile. Isaac Alvarez is out there for Byron. Isaac missed basically the entire season after an injury in the Week 1 game against Rock Falls. And he was in on the stop there for Byron. All right, second and a long 6. Ball over the middle, almost a great catch. Earlier in the game, very similarly, a drop. This one would have been an outstanding play for Tamarion Garner. And he reached up that big right hand into the air and was just not able to haul it in. So a missed opportunity there. Maybe a little bit of wind helping the cause of the Tiger defense there as the intended target, Garner, would have been able to do some damage. All right, third and long. Pocket collapsing. Bennett Hively pursuing. Now into the linebackers and a first down for the Knights. Quarterback kept it himself. Great job by Lang. He's a good one. Tough guy to bring down. Got a good arm. And was able to scamper forward to about the 47-yard line to move the chains. 2 minutes. All right, we've got a little issue here. We're going to take care of a tech problem. Ball over the middle. Pop that in and get it started. Get it restarted. All right, we got a little tech glitch. We're going to have to use our sideline camera. I know it's not the greatest picture, but we got my boys out there changing the battery out. We like it when that happens at halftime. Hey, we almost made it, but we'll have this crow's nest cam back up and running here in just a minute. Second and 10. Lang, the quarterback, hands it off. Hey, we're back. That it, baby. Hey, that's like watching NASCAR there, man. We came in for a pit stop and we got the tires changed in record time. That a boy. However, a Casey Keckstad run to the 46.5-yard line. That a babe. You guys did great work out there. As Polich comes back out to offer a little bit more beef to that interior defensive line. Norris and Polich with the edge rushers of Alvarez and Gatier. All right, third down and 4 with about 1:15 left in this second quarter. The Knights trying to tie things up. There goes the quarterback scampering, falling forward, reaching out his right arm. And he's going to be shy of first down yardage, despite a good-looking play. Getting some chat in the some chatter in the chat here. They like the boys, the fact that they did that pit stop very quickly. All right, you can see the timeout situation there in our score bug. This is a student-run production, by the way. I'm up here. I got the easy part. I get to talk about the game, but I got my student crew of Camden, Keegan, and Avon doing work, and they're doing a great job. Speaking of doing work, it's up to the defense now with the Tigers on fourth down and under a yard. Four-man front. Linebackers creeping into on a stunt. There's the handoff and a first down for the Knights. Number 20, Casey Keckstad. He picked up the first down and more, and down under a minute now. The Knights will have to work quickly. Zion Gatier finally in on the stop, but not before a first down for the white-jerseyed Knights. Pass, left side, high into the air, leaping, number 11, Grant Bowen, who pulled it down and then out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line and into the red zone for the Knights. They've dropped now a couple of would-be touchdown passes. They've missed a potential field goal, have the Knights. They're seeing if they can punch one in here in the waning moments of the second quarter. But the Tigers, the defense, they think otherwise. Lang looking left, now to the right. There's a flag, should be a hold. Lang scampering out of bounds at about the 15, but that flag should bring this one back. And a hold by the big fella down there. Landon West, number 59, the guilty party. It was either him or the big man, 56, James Alexander. One of the two. Anyway, this one's coming back. Hey, this is huge, by the way. We're going to talk about this at halftime, but very appreciative of Weather on the Go, who alert us that Richmond Burton leads Monmouth Roselle 10-0 at the half. That's big and very looming news for this quarterfinal matchup here in Byron. But back to work. Pass left, caught, knocked out of bounds at about the 22. I believe that was Doc and number 33, Ben Hively. Both of those gentlemen of the defense for the Tigers stopping the progress dead in its tracks. 2nd and 15. 28 seconds, that is correct. Big moment of the ball game, folks. The waning seconds of the second quarter. Shotgun. Good pocket. Oh, and it's going to be tipped there. Atta baby, that's the snowman, Will Julian, number 8, who got a big paw on it to knock it out of the air, making it 3rd and long. All right, down to about 20 seconds. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say a good pocket there, but the ball not thrown very high, and Julian knocked it out of the sky. 3rd and 14. Out of the shotgun, it's Lang, the quarterback. Signals for a man in motion. He's searching, pocket collapsing, scampering. The pass is up and it skips, and incomplete. A would-be target down there at about the 5-yard line, but with the pocket collapsing, Lang scampering and not able to complete the pass. 14 seconds left. 4th and 14. Looking to the sidelines, they missed a field goal earlier. And a big stop coming up. Oh, there's a flag, by the way. As I was looking to my right at that near catch, but a flag right at about the 20-yard line. Boyer's coming out, wants an explanation. He's being signaled to stay on the sidelines as the officials will talk things over. Let's see what they have in store for us. Key and pivotal moment of the game so far. You can see, well, you may not be able to see him, but just beyond your picture there, Boyer is standing out there awaiting an explanation. The flag was down. All right, we'll watch the official. We'll find out when you do. All right, it's going to go against the defense, but they're going to decline it because that would have moved him back, but it would have given them the down. And Boyer elects to decline the penalty and make it 4th and long and force a potentially relatively long field goal, but instead the Knights will actually go for it. Okay, I think that clears things up. 14 seconds left on 4th and 14. Empty backfield. Will Julian doing work. Ball over the middle, overthrown, and out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. And the Tiger defense holds. Yeah, JJ in coverage in the end zone. Will Julian from the edge, putting a little pressure on Lang, the quarterback, and forced to throw that was a little bit strong. And again, some air and wind at his back as the ball sailed beyond the intended target, and it's going to be a knee for Byron as time will expire here in the second quarter. The Tigers and their fans love it. As the Tigers lead the Knights of Immaculate Conception here at the half in Byron, 7-0. There's Andy Donaldson, by the way. He's going to add it, baby. A man of many talents is the principal, Andy Donaldson, who holds open the gate for the boys so they can make their way back into the locker room to talk things over. All right, well done, boys. Hey, Ken, great to hear from you, buddy. And I'm very sorry to report, Ken, that you're unfortunately having to watch from the cruise ship down near Curacao. Ken, I'm so sorry. But you know what, Ken? I don't know what the weather is there, but this is about, for a November 15th ball game, I mean, this is the state quarterfinals. This is about the best weather that we've had maybe the entire season. It's neither too hot nor too cold. It is a little windy. But Ken, I'm glad. Hey, Ken, grab a Pepsi and enjoy the game down there in Curacao. All right, welcome to the jungle. Liam Connell says, shout out to the snowman, number 8. As I'm just kind of peering through the chat here. Don't really have much chance to watch the chat a whole lot during the actual game, but checking in with some of my buddies. Had a baby Ken. Hey, you boys are doing great. Hey, you guys got a lot of, the chat loved it that you guys swapped that battery out in record time like a pit stop. That was beautiful. Yep, Mrs. Harrington will tell you how to, there we go. So we got this beautiful new press box, and like any new construction, there's always a few little tweaks and, you know, bugs to iron out, and one of them is that on windy days, this door keeps blowing open. It's not true, right? It's not plumb. Okay, hey, Camden, are you going to have some stats for us? Are you going to pull a Jackson Mayborn and tell us the stats, or do you want me to do it? Okay. We'll have some stats for you here in a little bit with Camden Tobias, and he's a freshman football player for us. He's in the booth as part of our broadcast production crew. So anyway, I kind of want to go back to something. I have had to have so many things to talk about this season as the Tigers, more often than not, we're blowing out their opponents, right? And you got to have a few jokes. I don't pregame the jokes, by the way. They just come to me, but some of you were thinking maybe I should. You know, we want it to be a community broadcast. We want it to be exciting. We, got to have some things to talk about other than the fact that the Tigers are leading it 63-0, on any given night. And, of course, it's 7-0 here. That's Keegan's beautiful score bug. Keegan, you're killing it with the score. You even had the roughing the kicker, babe. But anyway, we always have to have plenty of things to talk about. And so I did a little bit of research. It's a November 15th game, and I figured out that a lot of things happened on November 15th. It was the day that the Articles of Confederation went into effect back in 1777. Hey, that's why I'm doing this at halftime, as somebody's thinking, I don't want a history. Hey, go grab a Pepsi. That's okay. There's some history nerds that want to listen to this. In 1864, it was William Tecumseh Sherman who began the so-called March to the Sea in the Civil War. In 1939, they laid the cornerstone for the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. Okay, that was FDR, the Jefferson Memorial. There was a couple of birthdays. I had Ed Asner. So I'm Gen X. Gen Xers would know Ed Asner as Santa Claus. But here's a good one. The game was too good to throw that up during the middle of the game. But you know who this guy is? Oh yeah, that's Randy Macho Man Savage. Keegan, you know who that guy is, or is that before your time? He's somebody downtown having a Pepsi's, looking up at the screen and going, "Hey, I know who that is." So he was born today. Hey, the Xbox came out, okay, on this day, sometime in the early 2000s. I don't know I do know what the Xboxes look like now. That they got that. Keegan, you got an Xbox? You got the X? Oh, yeah. I had an Xbox for a while, but this is the OG Xbox from maybe like 2001, okay? These are all things that happened on November 15th, by the way. There was an Elvis movie that came out back in the 50s, on this day, but that's okay. But I had to get this out, and I alluded to this earlier, and a couple people in the chat knew what I was talking about. But Keegan, you ever heard of these guys, the Beastie Boys? Oh, my. 39 years ago, November 15th, 1986, when I was just a lad, one of my favorite cassette tapes in the Burris Boy collection was released. Licensed to Ill, and some of my all-time favorite songs are on that tape. Hey, I'm going to call it a tape, okay, because it was released on cassette. I don't think it was released right away on CD, but eventually it was, and I think now there's even a vinyl record album. And I was going to see if I couldn't get some of the songs from that album into my broadcast, but it's been such a great game up to this point. Evan Madrigal is with me. That a babe. Love me some Beastie Boys. You got to fight for your right. I think that's on that. Album. Yep, Mike, you were all over that, baby. Hey, all I had to do was throw up a little Macho Man Savage, and apparently that got some. That got the chat going. There you go. My buddy Matt Pendergrass is listening in and is texting me about the Beastie Boys. So my favorites. Okay, so you had Paul Revere. Keegan, I'm going to give you a little history lesson on the Beastie Boys. Okay, three guys from New York. And you add a little bit of rock into the mix. You add some good bass, some synth, and a bunch of stuff. But more importantly, MCA, Adrock, and Mike D just spitting fire. So yeah, you got to fight for your right. Somebody I think that was Evan Madrigal there. Hey, Matt, are you going to throw that up on the PA after the game, baby? I hope you do. So my favorite song was Paul Revere, okay? I don't really know how to weave Paul Revere into the broadcast. He in his horsey and a glass of Pepsi. But yeah, you had to fight for your right to party, License to Ill. Man, just some great songs on there. Girls. Bum, 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 bum. And then you had the boys in the background. Bum, 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 bum. That's a fantastic song. Great album anyway. Sorry, guys, I had to geek out with my Gen X self and my Gen Xers out there. Licensed to Ill came out this day 39 years ago. And, we had some people in the chat saying that today was their birthday as well. Mike Donald, right? Hey, a wiffle ball bat, right? We got that baseball bat, wiffle ball bat. Hey, Craig is chiming in that 11 years ago the Tigers beat Newman to advance to their first state semifinal since '99. That would be Sterling Newman. All right, just kind of looking through the chat, and I'm absolutely loving that we got so many fans of this great game. One of my favorite things is high school football, and I assume many of you feel the same. Friday Night Lights, man, a little slice of Americana, and we are blessed and privileged here in Byron to have one of the great teams, not only in the state. Okay, I don't want to. The boys, they call it glazing these days. I don't want to get carried away, but how about this? One of the great programs in the state. I was going to say the Midwest. I don't, maybe saying the country was a little bit much. Would that have been Glaze and Keegan? Maybe so. But certainly one of the great programs in our state of Illinois, and we are privileged every Friday night to be joined by some great fans on our platform. They like to get in on the chat. They like to watch us, whether it's somebody who throughout the season frequently would blow up the picture on the projector onto the side of their garage, or whether they're at one of the great establishments here downtown, whether they're on a cruise like Ken in Curacao, whether you're deployed, whether you're doing whatever Jay's doing in Amsterdam. Wherever you are, we're glad to have you along, and that's what makes Friday night football, and of course today Saturday afternoon football, so cool. It's not just the play on the gridiron, it's the fact that it's a community event, and we're glad to have so many of you along. Yeah, the stadium does look great on TV. We love that. We're happy to have you notice that. Hey, we're streaming. Here's some tech geek stuff. My crew behind me here. We're streaming at 1080p, baby. Somebody said they didn't know what a Gen Xer was, so certainly there's some people that aren't tech savvy that won't know what 1080p even means. But, hey, we're streaming at 60 frames per second, 1080p, and we upped our bit rate even the last couple of broadcasts to 10,000 kilobits per second. So we got about the best picture quality that you can muster up short of 4K, and you never see 4K anyway, unless it's like the MLB All-Star Game or something like that. You never see it. So we're glad to be bringing you this great coverage, and I couldn't do it without the talents of Avon and Keegan and Camden and others that couldn't join us today. Hey, Easton couldn't be with us today. Jackson Mayborn couldn't be with us. We've had JJ. We've had a couple of other guys helping us out, throughout the season. We've had a good season, haven't we, boys? Remember that day when we smelled something and we turned around, Avon, and they had delivered some pizzas. It was Costa's Pizza. That was amazing. Is that Max Preps? Yeah, so Avon is telling me that he's affirming that news that we had earlier, that Richmond Burton, the number 1 seed, is leading their opponent 10-0. All right, hey, let me see if I can make some sense of these stats. So we got Consi here. How many, is that 8 carries? Okay, so I tell you what, some of these like astronomical numbers that we're used to seeing, we're just not seeing them today because of the tenacious defense of the Knights. So these are some, maybe pedestrian numbers compared to what we're used to. The important thing is that number 37, Caden Considine, he's got 8 carries for only 24 yards. I'm not a math guy, but I think that's about 3 yards per carry, which is well below his usual numbers. But he does have that 1-yard touchdown, the only touchdown of the game up to this point. So Consi, 24 yards on 8 carries and a touchdown, and it was David Cunningham's extra point. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Hey, we got the media. A lot of people up here. The media, the print media. Yeah, babe. No better place to watch from, by the way, this press box here in Everett Stine Stadium. All right, D. Crid, only 4 carries for the senior, 29 yards. Trusty number 5, that's Cole Aiken, carries of 3, and then 9 yards. that great carry to set up the touchdown, where he leapt high over the defender to get the ball down to about the 1, at which point Consi was able to punch it in. Talbert, 5 carries for 27 yards, and the fleet-footed Bonvalet, probably the second fastest guy on the team, just shy of the quarterback Andrew Talbert. He has that 1 carry for -4. Some of the other suspects that we would see on any given basis: Edmondson, Wheeler, Jennings, Julian. Did I say Wheeler? I think I did. Some of those guys haven't even gotten their hands on it yet because, you know, Jace Cassie, #1. I always like to tease him, #1 in the program, #1 in our hearts. Jace Cassie hasn't had a chance to carry the ball, as we've had a very back and forth ball game. And anyway, it was Consi with 8 carries to the tune, to a total, of 24 yards in that 1-yard touchdown run set up by Aiken. And that's Camden Tobiasen doing work. Maybe Cam will be ready to take the mic down the road, but for today, we're glad to have his work up here in the booth. As well as Keegan Mitchell, who's pushing all the buttons on the score bug and doing a great job. And Avon Waldschmidt is on the camera up here. Hey, Wilmarth, that a babe. Hey, keep doing work, boss. As Chad Wilmarth climbs the ladder up into the press box. That a babe. Look at Keegan doing work here as I'm checking my phone, checking some scores, because I was trying to see. I thought I saw a Montini score. There it is. Montini 28-0. We know Hey, we know Montini. we know Lombard Montini around here, don't we? Photon. Sounding good, Ray. Hey, sounding great, Ray. I get the reference. My cousin, Ray Burris. Hey, man, watching from Guam. Hey, we got some parents for the Knights. Hey, we're glad to have you guys along. Hey, Evan Madrigal, right? Lake Zurich over Nazareth, 21-9 in the big boy quarterfinals, 6A. Okay, yeah, you know, watching from North Korea. Yeah, Keegan, watching from North, I'm going to go on a limb. Hey, we studied this in human geography. Hey, I don't even know if they have the internet over there, right? I mean, watching from North Korea. Wow. Okay. Hey, maybe they're in Pyongyang in the palace of Kim Jong-un listening to the game. That seems likely. Hey, Rich Wessel, that a babe, 1080p. The crew is indeed killing it. Okay. Hey, so we'll try to weave in some License to Ill references from that album 39 years ago, but for the time being, we're back to work here as we're set to begin the second half. Tigers with the lead, 7-0. Hey, throw those numbers out, right? The Tigers a number 2 seed, the Knights a number 11, playing against a really difficult schedule. We told you about their 3 losses to Nazareth and Marist and St. Rita. So this is a great ball game. I won't go so far as to call it the state championship. You can. Hey, we still got Richmond Burton lurking, right? But yeah, I think this is what most people are saying is the 3A state championship. And we got a lot of ball game left with which to work as the ball blows off the tee out there at the 40-yard line, and that'll delay the kickoff here as the Tigers will get the ball. With Consi back as the ball is squibbed right over the middle. Consi lost the handle on it but picked up right behind, and falling conservatively is Talbert down at about the 22-yard line. All right,
Jalen Banks.
For those that missed it earlier, we've got an offensive line that includes Dalton Norris, Braden Hammis, Brody Stein, Cade Polich, and the sophomore number 65, Dylan Nelson. Listen and watch for the tight ends, Jack Jennings, number 88, and the Snowman, named for that number on his jersey, number 8. That's Will Julian, and we'll get to that talented backfield here in just a moment. There's Talbert surveying things. From the north side of the field, there's the handoff, and Dawson Criddle with Nelson and Norris and the rest of that line trying to carve out some space. D. Crid lowered his helmet and carved out with some help about 5 yards. All right, in the backfield, listen for number 4, Dawson Criddle. Number 16, Andrew Talbert. Number 27, J.J. Edmondson. Number 34, Landon Bonville, and of course, the senior All-Stater along with Talbert. Number 37, Caden Considine. 2nd and 5. Talbert surveying things, awaiting the snap. There's the pitch. Off right tackle. Once again, Dawson Criddle with Hammis up off the bottom of the pile, along with number 57, Brody Stein. Double tight end package. Wing T, Coach Everett Stine listening and watching from down in Texas. Enjoying this Tiger lead 7-0. Kotze didn't get much, but it was enough across the 35. Keeping those legs churning forward to move the chains for Byron. Lots of fans in attendance. From Elmhurst, the Knights well represented in that what used to be the old home stands, and this west stands, the new ones here at Everett Stine Stadium, packed full of Tiger faithful. And last I checked, about 1,500 people watching the stream on YouTube. We're glad to have you guys along. All right, that's Dawson Criddle. Slow and steady on this drive for Byron. The Tigers did turn the ball over once early in the game on a fumble. Credited to Talbert as his pitch fell to the ground, kind of right between Considine and number 5, Cole Aiken. So slow and steady now, enjoying this 7-0 lead. Double tight end set. There's the keeper for Talbert trying to get to the far sideline. He does. Cuts the corner. Talbert now in a track race down to the 30. And escorted out of bounds somewhere near the 25. Showing that breakaway speed at number 16, Andrew Talbert. And they're going to say he stepped out at about the 30. But the biggest play from scrimmage up to this point for the Byron Tigers. Talbert more than doubling his output on the ground in that first half with that one scamper. Able to use some of that breakaway speed. All right, wing T. Bottom of your picture there, trusty number 5, that's Cole Aiken. Kotze behind. Gets the inside handoff and a big pile up there just beyond the 30. So I was watching a college football broadcast. I saw that Michigan and Northwestern were playing at one of my favorite places today. In Chicago, there on the north side, that would be Wrigley Field. And they were just doing some analysis about the Big Ten, which I love, and it's my favorite college conference. But they were talking about the West Coast teams that have joined the conference and the difference in play between them and more of the Midwestern style of Big Ten football. And we're kind of seeing that right now on this drive. The Tigers slowly and steadily keeping the ball on the ground as Cole Aiken does some work and into the secondary, picking up a first down. So whereas the Knights of Elmhurst Immaculate Conception like to go to that air attack, they've had some key drops. I'll go so far as to say they might have had 2 touchdowns in the air. One was right in the breadbasket of the intended target in that first series, and then a little bit later in the second, they missed their target again, but kind of that West Coast Big Ten feel, right, with USC and Oregon and Washington. And the Tigers playing good Midwestern style Big Ten, and in this case, Big Northern Conference football, right? And they're on a long drive now, so far of about 60 yards total, as a little bit of a loss on the play for Concy makes it 2nd and 11. All right, 2nd down and 11 for the boys in black. Here we go. Talbert looking things over. Oh, lost the signal on our sideline cam. We'll keep it right up here. Big pile up at midfield. Considine chewing up some space. Got a few yards back. Did Concy.
2-yard gain on that play will bring up 3rd and 9 for the Tigers.
Hey, are you guys still hearing me, by the way, on the broadcast? Somebody's saying I'm muted. You should still be able to hear me. All right, not for me, says somebody. All right, we're still here. 3rd down and long. Talbert, pitch. Number 5, Aiken. Aiken into space. Aiken, who we missed for most of the season with an injury, but now showing us what we missed by picking up another first down. And across the 10, 1st and goal, Byron. Chewing up some clock in the process. About a 75-yard drive here for Byron as Talbert comes out with the play. We're not quite ready for the sideline camera. Hey, they were doing a little pit stop on the sideline camera, just like we did up here, changing out the battery. We'll back to that sideline camera in just a bit. Meanwhile, there's a pitch. Nothing there. D. Crid, number 4, the ball carrier, and a big hold there by the defensive line, trying to keep the Tigers out of the end zone for what would be their 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. As you can see, the Tigers leading at 7-0. Jeff Boyer out onto the field to talk things over with Talbert, and J.J. Edmondson and Talbert back into the huddle to talk things over. And here comes number 8, the snowman, Will Julian. As Dalton Norris, the Pharaoh, first on the scene, the center, to size things up. Looking to pass. Ooh, the ball is down. Almost picked off there as it was a stumbling number 4, Dawson Criddle, who kind of spun around. Meanwhile, the ball was jarred loose and into the air. And to be perfectly honest, it was an opportunity for the DB to come away with a loose ball. Not on a fumble, of course, but on the deflection off of the hands of D. Crid. And the Tigers maintain possession on the pass intended for D. Crid in the flat. 3rd down and goal, double tight. Concy to the left of your screen. Talbert calling signals. Diving ahead into the end zone, touchdown! Trusty number 5, that a baby? Cole Aiken doing work. We've missed him. And atta babe, his teammates loving it, and so are we. As the Tigers open up a lead now 13-0 over the Knights of Elmhurst. And the Tigers able to chew up a lot of clock on that about 78-yard touchdown drive. David Cunningham's kick is up plenty of distance, and it is up and good. And the Tigers improve their lead now to 14-0. Oh, man. 24-0 Richmond, by the way. Is that Brady Scheck? Yeah, Brady Scheck down there. All right. Brady Scheck had the Tiger paw flag. All right. Now, I will tell you that just about everything that could go wrong did for the Knights. So don't turn the channel, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The Tigers, they're in the driver's seat now, 2 touchdowns, 14-0. But these Knights, I'm sure they have something up their sleeves here, as they have made many errors untimely here in this 3A quarterfinal matchup. All right, a booming kick all the way back into the end zone, and the fans loving it. That's Lars Dieck out of Cologne, Germany, the foreign exchange student who knocked it deep as the Knights of IC Catholic, their offense will charge back out onto the field. All right, back to work go the Knights of Elmhurst. Twins to either side. The quarterback working out of the shotgun formation as he has all afternoon. And an inside handoff to Casey Keckstad. He's still on his feet into the secondary. Space to the 40, 45. Finally out of bounds near midfield, and a gain of about 25, 30 yards there on that first play of this drive for the Knights.
The ball's on the 44-yard line, first and 10 Knights.
All right, twins to either side. Surveying things is Lang, the quarterback. Looking to pass, good pocket, lots of time, scampering. Now pursued by Hively, pass right, just in front of the sideline of the Knights. And what we see there is the great job of the secondary of the Tigers downfield doing work. And, I mean, the quarterback had all day, did Nate Lang. But nothing was available, and kind of pursuing from the linebacker position. Finally, at the end, there was Ben Hively, and Lang threw it out of bounds. Second and long. Really just a 3-man front for the Tiger defense at this stage to try to combat that air attack. That means they'll give up a little bit of room over the middle, and on that play, diving forward to, or excuse me, number 20, Casey Keckstad, down to about midfield, a gain on the play of about 6.
Ball's at the 50-yard line, 3rd and 4 for the Knights.
4-man front on defense now. Edge rushers out there. Zion gets here, bottom of your screen. Out of the shotgun formation, ball at midfield. Knights with the ball. There's a flag. That's going to be movement. Yep, false start. Now, I will say it's loud, okay? I mean, I was at Kinnick Stadium last weekend with 70,000 fans playing one of the top teams in the country. And it was loud enough that my eardrums were rattling, okay? But, I mean, it's a huge crowd, but that noise has got to have a little something to do with it. But really just the Knights not locked in today. Pass right side, over the middle. And it's going to be busted open. Had a baby. Ben Hively in. Isaac Alvarez in on the stop. Zion Gatir with pressure. A host of Byron defenders doing work to stymie the forward progress of the Knights. And they'll be forced to punt the ball away and into the win to add insult to injury here in this third period, with the Tigers leading at 14-0. JJ back, Bonvalet back, off to the left, or beyond the left edge of your screen. There's the kicker, kind of a high snap, not a very high kick, and it takes a good Byron bounce, caroming back in the direction of the south to help the Tigers a little bit more as well. So their offense will come out onto the field just beyond the 40-yard line.
The Tigers will start 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line.
Talbert with the ball. Hey, that's Nick with the sideline camera work, by the way. He is a Byron grad. We're glad to have him along. There's the press box cam. That's Avon Waldschmidt, a current Byron sophomore. We've got Keegan working the score bug. We've got Camden on the stats. Tigers doing work back on the field of play, diving ahead past the 45 to the 47. So kind of back to the anecdote I was giving earlier, you know, you've got all these new, if you will, West Coast Big Ten teams. Oregon comes to mind, USC, and you know the type. Maybe a little bit of a different style of play, a lot of recruits from, you know, California, those five-star guys that can run. And the Tigers, really more the traditional Big Ten style of play, of course, the Big Northern Conference, and kind of showing you the difference in style of play. The Tigers, that double tight end set, working that Everett Stine wing T as D. Crid diving ahead to just shy of the 50-yard line. They got the lead to the Tigers, and they can chew up a little bit of clock as well. And I wondered if that analysis that I heard on the national broadcast this morning about the Big Ten would come into play this afternoon here on the high school gridiron between this Big Northern Conference powerhouse, the Tigers, and the IC Catholic Knights, who like to put the ball in the air. It has not gone well for them today against this Big Northern opponent. Double tight. Oh, that's Talbert. Kept it himself. Consi was the decoy. And Andrew Talbert ahead past the 45 to the 44. A first down for the Byron Tigers. And the clock continues to tick here in this third period. Gorgeous afternoon here in Northern Illinois. I think that at the start of the game, I think the game time temperature was 68 beautiful degrees, as you can see in your screen. A sunny afternoon here in Byron. The only weather factor is that breeze from left to right. Actually, at the backs of the Tigers now is Talbert tried to get to the edge, but conservatively tucked it in as he saw he was pursued by several defenders of the Knights. Gain of 2, and again, more importantly, time expiring here in this third period. Okay, so that'll turn things around. The Tigers moving from left to right. They'll now move to the north from right to left to continue this drive. That would give the Knights' passing attack, the wind at their backs. That is, if they get the ball back, as certainly the Tigers will continue to work the clock. We're glad to have you along. I haven't really checked the chat a ton. We're up to 1.6 thousand viewers, which is great. We're glad to have you. One of my favorite things is all the fans of both teams, but in particular the Tiger faithful listening from near and far, and that includes many people watching from overseas. Somebody on a cruise, that's my buddy Ken, down near Curacao. We've got some guys on deployment. Somebody was in Saudi Arabia, somebody was in Amsterdam, somebody said they were in Guam. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the guy who said he was in North Korea was pulling our proverbial leg. Unless he's watching from the palace in Pyongyang of Kim Jong-un. Okay, but anyway, back to work here. Fourth quarter action. Tigers with the ball. Standing tall. And then diving ahead is number 5, Cole Aiken. Cole's older brother Kai was a fixture on the team. Kai might be listening and watching today from college, unless he's here in attendance. Several of the guys, though, had gotten together in Missouri. Brock and Liam, and I can't remember who else they were with. Oh, Roush maybe? Talbert keeps it himself. Ooh, he reaches out. Very conservatively tucked it in. A good ball security there for the junior, but did reach out to see if he could get first down yardage. Good display of sportsmanship there by Cole Aiken, who picked the ball up for the official. Hey, it's, you know, you hit your 40s and reaching down to get something off the ground isn't as easy as it used to be. Some golf buddies are listening in. Of course, I think I might hit that little white ball a few more times than some of the rest of you. But that was nice of Cole Aiken to pick the ball up and hand it to the official there. Double tight. First down on the second effort there by Talbert. Tigers chewing some clock as the junior looks things over. Inside handoff. There goes Consi into space. Consi into the secondary, down at the 10. And the Tigers threatening for a third time this afternoon. We've had a 1-yard touchdown run by the aforementioned Considine. We had about an 8-yard touchdown run by trusty number 5, Cole Aiken. And now ball at about the 11-yard line as the Tigers talk things over. And this would be a big, big blow against the Knights should they punch one in for a third time. From the 11, into the wind, Talbert looking things over in the shadows as well. Still on his feet, the ball carrier past the 10, Talbert. Defended by Will Schmidt of the Knights. Tell you what else is kind of nice, understatement for Byron fans, is we know this IC Catholic team pretty well over the years, as we do Lombard Montini. Somebody was just asking about the next game as Richmond Burton looms, but let's get through this one first. But it's nice to be playing Immaculate Conception here in Byron, and the Tigers have taken full advantage of the energy of being at home. Handoff to Criddle. Criddle still on his feet inside the 5. Shy of the end zone, but time continuing to tick as the Tigers now inside the 5. third and goal
5-yard gain on that play.
from,
Third and 3 for the
we'll
Tigers.
say, the 4. And excuse me, third down and 3. The Tigers could get a first down right at about the 1-yard marker. All right, Talbert back in, as is JJ, to replace number 8, Will Julian. All right, one lone receiver wide to the left. That's JJ, likely just to spread things out. Ooh, kind of a busted play down there at the 5. It was Cole Aiken off the bottom of the pile. Once again, Will Schmidt doing the work with no gain on the play. 4th down and 3. I don't believe the Tigers have made a field goal. Have we? How many? We got that one? Yeah. Hey, you got to practice it. We didn't have many opportunities, as David Cunningham, number 90, is out. You can see him in your screen there, sizing things up, awaiting the snap. The snap is good, and the kick was muffed, missed wide to the right. It's still then a 2-score game, and both teams now have missed a field goal in this one. And a turnover as the Knights will come out, and they do have the wind at their back. They've got a quarterback with a great arm. One of the very first passes of the game for the Knights would have been a touchdown. I'm not exaggerating. Right at midfield, right in the paws of the intended target, hit him right in stride, and he was in space and would have been a touchdown. But that ball was dropped, and the quarterback missed his target just beyond the outstretched right arm in that second quarter, and he'll go to the air attack now, and a punishing tackle, but not before a pass completed to Grant Bowen. So we're going to see that air attack. To the 35-yard line they go. First down and 10. The quarterback, Lang, surveys things. Pocket is a good one. And Lang breaks through and on his feet, scampering to about the 47. And he held out the ball in front of him to try to gain a couple of extra yards, and did so with the spot coming right at the 45, to the dismay of the Byron fans in attendance. 45, here come the Knights now. They are not out of this one yet. Standing at his 50-yard line, Lang, the quarterback, searching, pocket collapsing. There goes Lang, scampering, tucks the ball in, and down to about the 41-yard line. Considine making the stop on defense, and the official standing right at the 40. All right, 6:48 left in the ball game. Out of the shotgun, Knights with the ball, awaiting the snap. Quick one over the middle, caught, 35. Time will continue as Will Schmidt made the grab that time for the Knights. If nothing else, Immaculate Conception looks to be clicking a little bit more and in sync, unlike generally the entire duration of the rest of the contest.
That will bring up 3rd and 1 for the Knights.
Donnell Salas is to the bottom of your screen there. Slot receiver left as Lang looks things over. Passes up beyond the outstretched arms of the intended target down there. And a little heavy on the throw, could not be hauled in by Schmidt. Decrid was credited with defending, but that ball was beyond the intended target. On 4th and 1, that's an interesting play call. Easy for me to say from up here in the press box, but you would have thought they just would have gotten the first down and have a little bit of breathing room. Now they need a fourth down, and they'll get it. Oh, a big fella, number 45. Not listed on my roster, so he'll remain number 45. But a first down picked up, though, by the Knights. Time continuing. Our score bug says 5:37. The official time says 5:40, so we're right there. Trips left. Lang looking things over as he awaits the snap. There's the inside handoff once again to the big fella. Carrying with him several Byron defenders, among them Ben Hively and Caden Considine, numbers 33 and 37. As Big Polich will come into the lineup on the interior defensive line for Byron, with Isaac Alvarez giving way. Second down and 3. Searching downfield. Good coverage by the secondary of Byron and thrown out of bounds. Linebacker Bennett Hively, number 33, was over there to cover him up, and it was thrown harmlessly out of bounds with the pocket collapsing. There's the defense. Like a University of Iowa in the Big Ten. The defense setting the tone for the offense. And trying to be equal to the task here on 3rd and 3. All right, Bonville, top of your screen, into position finally, and he'll have to cover up that far side. Quarterback delay, diving ahead to the 14. We'll call that a draw play. A delay is kind of the outdated terminology, a quarterback draw, if you will. Just a read for the quarterback, nothing doing downfield, and he kept it himself and picked up the first down. Importantly, time continuing to tick away. Screen set up left side, and a punishing tackle by a host of Byron defenders. Among the first on the scene, Caden Considine, number 37. All right, Norris off. They'll have to spread things out with 4 possible targets to the right side for Lang. Searching. Over the middle, caught, spin, into the end zone, touchdown. And just like that, the Knights are on the board. It was Grant Bowen over the middle, number 11, spun his way into the end zone for the score. And now some noise being made on that far side of the field by the Knights faithful. Like we said, don't go away, as the Tigers, their lead now down to only 8. And the kick was blocked. The kick was blocked. That's huge. Now, I mean no disrespect to Immaculate Conception. They're playing what some would argue is the best team in the state, at least in 3A. But they have not been sharp. They've missed a field goal. They missed that extra point, which looms huge. It's still a one-score game. They've dropped several passes. Now, when you've got a gunslinging quarterback, you're going to drop a few, right, statistically, but several balls that should have been easy catches were not made. I saw somebody in the chat saying an undisciplined team. I'll leave that to the chat, but my analysis is that, yeah, they haven't played a good game, and they don't look sharp. And they've made several mistakes that surely will come back to haunt them should they be defeated by the Tigers, who lead it by a score, 14-6.
Cole Aitken and Nathan Wheeler beat
Yeah, 2-point conversion. So surely it's a one-score ball game, a touchdown and a 2-point. But now Byron has missed a couple as well. It's an onside kick. Picked up by D. Crid. Good hands, guy. He falls down on purpose, of course, at about the 34. The Tigers are going to have to choose some clock here. Ball security. Offensive line's got to do work. Hey, here in Byron, by the way, we have this thing called the Hogs and the Ponies. And, you know, that's not necessarily unique, but we do have the hog cart, and we just can't get it going this year because we have a brand newly poured track. But both the Hogs and the Ponies are going to have to do work here in the waning moments of this ball game. All right, there's a good view of Talbert. Handoff. D. Crid into space. D. Crid might go. One guy to beat. Number 4 and number 4. D. Crid to the 20. 10. I love it sometimes when the guy calling the game just lets the crowd noise speak for itself, and Dawson Criddle makes it academic, you'd have to believe. How many yards do you get him there for, Cam? An 80-yard touchdown run for Dawson Criddle, number 4. I'll see him in my world history class next week, and we can tell him we're proud. As the extra point is up and good, and it's 21-6 now. There's that big play that really either team didn't have up to this point. And just as we were saying, the Tigers are going to need to kill some clock. Of course, the alternative is you take it 80 yards for a touchdown run, and that doesn't burn the clock. But what it obviously does is add another 7 points to your grand total. Reminds me of what my old high school baseball coach would do. We'd do this drill where you got to hit the ball to the opposite field. And if you didn't hit the ball to the opposite field, if you pulled it, you had to run. And he said, you know, listen, if you pull the ball and you hit it out of the ballpark, we'll give it to you. And I'll never forget my D1 catcher in our program coming up there. The only guy on the team that had the cojones to take our coach up on his offer, and sure enough, the next pitch, he pulls one down the line for a dinger. That's kind of what the Tigers just did. Considine took it to pay dirt. Hey, if you're going to not chew up some clock, hit a home run, and that's exactly what D. Crid just did. And there you can see Brady Sheck at the bottom of your screen. All right, Lars Deke, squib, handled at about the 30. I was thinking maybe kick it deep there, but hey, Lars did what he did, and the Knights, their offense will have to charge back out with 3:29 left in the ball game. Hey, every week we tried to get better on our broadcast, and I can tell you that we've come a long way. Hey, I thought we were good when we started, if I may say so, but every week we made a point to do something better, and that's a motto that I live by, and it's a motto that's worked well for us. And one of the things that, you know, we got a couple of games into the season, and some people were saying, hey, could you guys get a score bug? As Lang drops back with Will Julian pursuing, and I think, no, did not complete the pass down there on the near sideline. Anyway, one of the great improvements that we made was the score bug that you see at the top of your screen. And I got to credit the guys that have helped run that score bug. And tonight it's Keegan who's doing the honors. And he's on it with the time, the score. He's had the flags, even the penalties themselves. As Lang drops back. He's got a man. And well defended, though. with his target number 1, Will Schmidt. I thought Schmidt might be able to get into the center, but in these waning minutes of the ball game, the Tigers can. Oh, there's another holding call, by the way. Hey, there's the flag. That'd be Keeg. Keeg, who's standing, by the way, outside. It's such a gorgeous afternoon. He's doing the game on his phone, right? So we have a little QR code on our Scorebug software, and he can just take a picture with his phone, and he can pretty much watch from anywhere. Heck, he could be on a cruise down in Curacao with Ken. He could be deployed overseas, but he's here in the top of Everett Stine Stadium. All right, pass was complete, and that means time will continue to tick. Dylan Dock, number 25, the sophomore, getting good minutes here at the end of the season. Shotgun, Knights with the ball. Will Julian and Zion Gatier force the quarterback out of the pocket. He'll scamper down that far sideline. He's got a first down and more.
Run out of bounds by Isaac Alvarez.
Isaac Alvarez, number 29. Yeah, we were talking about him being out most of the season as well. It's the time of the season when some guys are hurt and some guys are coming back from being hurt. And Isaac, in that Rock Falls game, his finger got pulled back so badly it caused a huge tendon problem, and he was out most of the season. All right, ball carrier still on his feet into the secondary, dragging defenders in tow as he crosses midfield down to about the 47.
Taken down by Ben Hidley.
Former Tiger living in Hawaii.
Ball is on the 48-yard line of the Tigers. First and 10 Knights.
Gatier looks a little shaken up on the play, but he's able to come off on his own. Edge rushers really with a 3-man front defensively, Alvarez and Julian. Big Brody Stein, the grappler, is out there. Pass over the middle, intercepted! Intercepted by Talbert at the 20. Excuse me, the 30-yard line. And that should do it. Atta baby. And a smile on the face of Jeff Boyer down there as Talbert makes a diving grab. Like the center fielder that he is for the baseball team. Came back and made the grab. $1.6K viewers. I'm very thankful to have all of you guys watching as the Tigers will very conservatively now pack things in. It's Cole Aiken. He might go. One guy to beat to the 40. 20. Back in to the 10. And out of bounds. That's not the worst thing that could have happened. To be quite frank, I even wondered if Aiken might slide down. You'll see that in college. You don't want to take a quarterfinal touchdown away from a high school kid. And with the score, he did the right thing. Go for the gold, baby. I didn't know if he'd play it conservatively or not. And one thing I will tell you is he could have gone out of bounds there, but he decided to keep it inbound. So that's a high IQ play there by Cole. Got it, babe. And the Tigers, barring a miracle, will advance to play Richmond Burton. Inside the 5, it's Consi. And more importantly, under 2 minutes left now in the ball game.
Five-yard gain on the play. Brings up second and goal from the 2-yard line.
Second down and goal. Looks like the ball is inside the 2. See if the Tigers can punch it in one last time. Yeah, Cole cutting it back in and kind of stopping things was absolutely not the worst thing that could have happened. Touchdown, Byron. Caden Katzenine, the senior All-Stater, into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's 27-6. Attaboy. Wilmarth and Boyer. Atta baby! Yearly and the crew coming down from the crow's nest here in the waning moments of this ball game. David Cunningham out to attempt the extra point as he'll line things up. Little win from left to right. Awaiting the snap. A high snap. Good hold, though, by Shanker. And Cunningham's kick is up and good. And it's back to a 3-score game. Tigers with just over a minute left in the ball game. Tiger faithful came out en masse to Everett Stine Stadium to cheer on their boys. And so did you on the stream. The Tigers well represented here and online. And their fans are faithful, enjoying it every minute. And certainly the outcome of this ball game as the Tigers open it up now 28-6.
Lars Dick taking off for the Tigers. Boy McGee and Danelle Salas deep to receive for the Knights.
There's the kick. Squibb. 30. Down the far side of the field now. Still on his feet into Byron territory, out at about the 45.
Bo Lundquist making the stop for the Tigers. There's a flag on the field, a holding call against the Knights.
Another holding call against the Knights. And that will negate a pretty solid return on the play by Jacoby Baldwin.
The ball is placed on the 35-yard
back to the 35-yard line. And the Tiger defense will see if they can hold. 3-man front defensively. Most of their guys back to defend the pass. To the flat, number 1, Will Schmidt. Schmidt gets out of bounds. He'll stop the clock. Landon Bonvalet, number 34, on the escort.
6-yard gain on the play will bring up 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Get 20. 20's your guy.
Under a minute left in the ball game. Rolling to his left, completing the pass, scampering towards the far sideline was Will Schmidt that time, but don't believe he was able to get out of bounds. Pushed out of change, says the PA on that far side of the field, so we'll move the chains, another first down. And time will continue now. So they move the chain, stop the clock momentarily, then the clock continues to tick. Pass left side, Schmidt once again out of bounds. Avoided the grasp of number 33, Ben Hively. As we're down now to 40 seconds left in the ball game. All right, last I heard, Richmond Burton was all over their opponent. I think it was like 28-0. Nice effort there. Pass completed to number 11, Grant Bowen. Under 30 seconds left now.
Making the tackle for the Tigers. That's good for a nice first down.
You see the snowman Will Julian in your screen there for a moment as we get a good look at the quarterback. Over the middle, caught in stride, number 4. That's Jaden Pena. It's one of the best looking drives of the afternoon here in the final seconds of this ball game for the Knights. Time enough maybe for one more play just to save a little face. Under 10 seconds now. Pocket collapsing. Quarterback scampering inside the 10. And he'll be tackled there, and time expires. Final score, Byron 28, and the Knights of Elmhurst Immaculate Conception 6. Hey, our stats guy, Camden, is showing me that the Richmond Burton score over Monmouth Roseville, Richmond Burton so far equal to that number 1 billing, right? 31-6 over Monmouth Roseville to advance to the state semis, where they will play your Byron Tigers as they got the dub this afternoon. A similar score, 28-6 when all was said and done. Great job, big fella. Go celebrate. As I want to say a big thank you to my student production crew who have done an awesome job this entire season, as Keegan Mitchell pushing the buttons. Keegan, that was fire. You were on it. You had the flags, the clock, everything was on point, baby. And our fans very much appreciated your efforts. Outside the window, helping us see a little bit of that celebration down there, that's Avon Waldschmidt, the sophomore, who's done a great job throughout the season. Man in the cam up here in the press box. And speaking of Cam, to my left today was Camden Tobiason, our stats guy. Camden, you want me to take a look at the stats, big fella? I mean, there wasn't a whole lot. Hey, boys, great game. Larry Rose, Bill Lutz up here in the press box. Okay, so it's a tale of two halves, really. I mean, the first half, it was 1 touchdown for the Tigers. On 8 carries, Concy had only 24 yards. But touchdowns in the second for Concy, Criddle, and Aiken, right? Are these finals, by the way? Here, let's see. So totals? Okay. You want to total those up, and then we can give our listeners a few stats here before we call it a day. All right, so anyway, the Tigers will improve to 12-0 on the season. And now here's the thing, okay? There's a bunch of rules that the IHSA has about hosting and broadcasting. So one thing I'll tell you is, should we be able to host the game here in Byron, we will broadcast, okay, on YouTube, because the agreement between the IHSA that's with the NFHS is that should the NFHS be broadcasting, they have sole, whatever the word would be, sole ownership, sole ability, sole proprietorship, anyway. With all due respect to the NFHS, one of the best things we ever did was cancel our subscription in Byron, which means that we get to broadcast. And should we host, we'll be back here on the YouTubes. Should we be on the road in Richmond Burton and they have the NFHS, we will be fans along with everybody else. All right, Concy, 45 yards on the day, 2 touchdowns, right? Dawson Criddle, most of which came on that 80-yard touchdown run, 137 yards for the senior. Cole Aiken, good to see number 5 back in the lineup, who was injured for most if not all of that regular season, but has rejoined us here in the lineup in the postseason. 113 total yards and a touchdown for Cole. And then Andrew Talbert, 67 yards on the ground for our fleet-footed quarterback, and made a great play there at the end of the game to take one away, a diving interception for Byron, Andrew Talbert. So a tale of two halves as we see Brad Miller in the screen and the boys enjoying their victory this afternoon. Hey, thanks to all of our fans. We had at one point, that at least when I was able to watch, we had about 1,600 fans at one time watching, and certainly thousands and thousands of views, and we're very glad to have had so many of you who joined us from near and far. All right, to the semifinals we go. The Tigers advance to take on the Rockets of Richmond Burton. And if we're here at home, we'll be able to live stream. If not, the NFHS will take you the rest of the way. To the semifinals we go against Richmond Burton after the victory today over the Immaculate Conception Knights, a final score of 28-6. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a proud presentation of Byron Tigers Live. We remind everybody to be excellent to each other, and until next time, good job to the Tigers. 28-6 over Immaculate Conception to improve to 12-0. This has been a proud presentation of Byron Tigers Live. Good night, everybody.